Hi friends, this is Mona. Welcome to Miracle Creatures channel. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, like, comment and click the bell icon to get the latest videos. Role in nature. Insects play many important roles in nature. They aid bacteria, fungi, and other organisms in the decomposition of organic matter and in soil formation. The decay of carrion, for example, brought about mainly by bacteria, is accelerated by the maggots of flesh flies and blowflies. The activities of these larvae, which distribute and consume bacteria, are followed by those of moths and beetles, which break down hair and feathers. Insects and flowers have evolved together. Many plants depend on insects for pollination. Some insects are predators of others. Commercial significance. Certain insects provide sources of commercially important products such as honey, silk, wax, dyes, or pigments, all of which can be of direct benefit to humans. Because they feed on many types of organic matter, insects can cause considerable agricultural damage. Insect pests devour crops of food or timber, either in the field or in storage, and convey infective microorganisms to crops, farm animals, and humans. The technology for combating such pests constitutes the applied sciences of agricultural and forest entomology, stored product entomology, medical and veterinary entomology, and urban entomology. Insects as a source of raw materials. For primitive peoples who gathered food, insects were a significant food source. Grasshopper plagues, termite swarms, large palm weevil grubs, and other insects are still sources of protein in some countries. The dry scaly excreta of coccids, Homoptera on tamarisk or larch trees is the source of manna in the Sinai desert. Coccids were once the source of the crimson dikermes. The cochineal or carmine, from Dactylopius scale insects found on Mexican cacti, was used for dyeing cloth by the Aztecs and is used today as a dye in food, cosmetics, drugs, and textiles. Several insect waxes are used commercially, especially beeswax and lac wax. The resinous product of the lac insect Carya lecca, Homoptera, which is cultured for this purpose, is the source of commercial shellac. Two of the most important domesticated insects are the silkworm, Lepidoptera, and the honeybee, Hymenoptera. Some coarse silks are produced from the cocoons of large wild silkworm species. Most commercial silks, however, come from the silkworm Bombyx mori. This insect is unknown in the wild state and exists only in culture. It was domesticated in China thousands of years ago, and selective breeding, notably in China and Japan, has produced many specialized strains. The honeybee is a close relative of existing wild bees. In the Middle Ages, honey was Europe's most important sweetener, and both beeswax and honey are still articles of commerce. However, the major importance of honeybees lies in their pollination of fruit trees and other crops. Insect damage to commercial products. When insects that break down dead trees invade structural timbers in buildings, they become pests. This is true of insects such as dermestid beetles and various simiad moths that ecologically are latecomers to carcasses and are capable of breaking down the keratin in hair and feathers. When these insects invade skins, furs, and wool garments or carpets, they can become problems for humans. In many hot, dry climates, as in North Africa or the plains of India, ripened grain in the fields is invaded by certain beetles and moths. When the grain is harvested, these insects thrive in the grain stores. They can be carried throughout the world in commerce and have become universal pests of stored grain, dried fruit, tobacco, and other products. Quarantine and disinfestation methods are used to control importation of such insects from grain exporting countries. Agricultural significance. Ecological factors. Many insects are plant feeders, and when the plants are of agricultural importance, humans are often forced to compete with these insects. Populations of insects are limited by such factors as unfavorable weather, predators and parasites, and viral, bacterial, and fungal diseases, as well as many other factors that operate to make insect populations stable. Agricultural methods that encourage the planting of ever larger areas to single crops, which provides virtually unlimited food resources, has removed some of these regulating factors and allowed the rate of population growth of insects that attack those crops to increase. This increases the probability of great infestations of certain insect pests. Many natural forests, which form similar giant monocultures, always seem to have been subject to periodic outbreaks of destructive insects. Growing crops. Insects are responsible for two major kinds of damage to growing crops. First is direct injury done to the plant by the feeding insect, which eats leaves or burrows in stems, fruit, or roots. There are hundreds of pest species of this type, both in larvae and adults, among orthopterans, homopterans, heteropterans, coleopterans, lepidopterans, and dipterans. The second type is indirect damage in which the insect itself does little or no harm but transmits a bacterial, viral, or fungal infection into a crop. Examples include the viral diseases of sugar beets and potatoes carried from plant to plant by aphids. Although most insects grow and multiply in the crop they damage, certain grasshoppers are well-known exceptions. They can exist in a relatively harmless solitary phase for a number of years, during which time their numbers may increase. They then enter a gregarious phase, forming gigantic migratory swarms, which are transported by winds or flight for hundreds or thousands of miles. These swarms may completely destroy crops in an invaded region. The desert locust, Schutzchecker gregaria, and migratory locust, Locusta migratoria, are two examples of this type of life cycle. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, like, comment and click the bell icon to get the latest videos. Bye friends.